Hello, and welcome back to Cars of Glasgow. I'm Thomas, and today you join me with the Mk1 Renault Twingo, so stay tuned for this video. So you join me with Andrew's Renault Twingo. This little Phase 2 is finished in Monaco Blue. And anybody curious and jumping out straight away, this car does have Phase 1 headlights just because they can get converted to UK standards a little bit easier because this was never originally sold in the UK. I quite like the dinky size of it. Anybody's seen the channel will know I've got a Toyota IQ. This car also features 13-inch steel wheels called Skippy. This little star shape here. And they're about £60 odd for a tyre for anybody who's interested in knowing that detail. Move along the side of the car. This little detail here has been in other Twingo models. If you've seen the red Twingo from a couple of years ago. Open up. And this could be a Helios edition, we're not quite sure. So if anybody in the comment section knows, please let yourself know. But I do like the kind of multicoloured pattern and they're really soft and squidgy. Just pull this lever up, like so. And you get access to the rear seats, and this is where you're going to ask through your screen, Thomas, can you jump in? And of course I will oblige. But before I do so, can we admire the Twingo showroom plate as well with the unique font. So seat fully forward, this is kind of the room I've got to deal with. Jump in relatively with some ease, and we'll pull the seat back. And you know what? I've got reasonable headroom. I'll flip the camera around. And I have reasonable headroom, even with the glass roof. Yeah, maybe 2 fingers worth. Shoulder room's not too bad. I guess you could get 2 adults back here. Ideally 2 kids or small adults. But I'm 5'11" and yeah, I wouldn't want to go to Monaco in this. However, driving around town, definitely more room in here than it is in the back of the IQ. And the glass roof does make it feel really open. And from my perspective in the back, this is your view out front. You do get plenty of glass. Greenhouse is nice and wide because it is like a 90s car. You've not got the thick pillars. You've got quite a thin pillared frame car, and you can see the exposed metalwork inside the car. And there's even a little bit of storage back here for your packet of crisps. And you can keep your map or books or whatever you want for your trips back there. Also worth noting, we've got a little handle down here. We can pull that forward if you want a little less legroom to give you a little bit more boot space, but we'll show you that when we get round the back. But just while we're here, thought may as well show you. So now you've seen me in the back of this Twingo, let's jump into the front. So go ahead, pull this lever, all with one hand, and like that, we're sorted. And door opens itself, optional extra like a Rolls Royce. So go ahead and jump inside the driver's seat. As you can see, the door panel, we've got the same blue carried over in the interior, some window switches and a wing mirror control. Go ahead and close the door up. And this is the interior we're greeted with. We've got a central mounted display unit, climate controls, vents, climate control, and then an aftermarket radio. A little bit of storage in here for an ashtray. It wouldn't be a Cars of Glasgow video without a glove box reveal. And actually, I was expecting it to be sharper than it was. Pretty softly damped. It looks like we've got a couple of cup holders there, some furry dice, and yeah, it's quite small and shallow. Maybe get a logbook in there. But we've also got a little bit of storage down here as well for a Renault Twingo kind of owner's guide. So you do have a little bit of shelf and a little bit of storage. So it's kind of been thought out. And definitely a throwback to a bygone area is this little area here for coins. So this car does use a 5-speed manual, as you can see, up and left for reverse, and quite an easy light shifter. We'll show you this when we're out on the road. We do have electric windows also on the passenger side, and as you can see, visibility throughout is pretty good. Even with the glass roof, a lot of daylight in here. Nice greenhouse. So key in the ignition, turn the car on, and that 1.2 comes to life. There we can see we've got the gauge for your time, the miles per hour and your fuel tank. And down here is where your warning symbols are. So as you can see right now, we've only got the handbrake that's on. We've got these funky switches on the left hand side for Got your climate climate vent block off. You want it on or off. You've got your rear defrost, which is a nice wee button. And there's your fog lights there. So you can turn them all the way off, like so. And then you can do rear defrost. Nice simple buttons, easy to use. And down here, we've got a little bit more storage for, I guess you could maybe keep the tool card passes or sunglasses, something like that in there. On the left hand side here, we have lights, indicator, and horn, which is a very unique feature on a car, because usually you would push the middle bit there where the airbag is. On the right hand side here, we've got your volume control for like your radio, and then your source, and then this stock here is for your wipers, or shall I say wiper, one singular wiper. And in case you're wondering, my 5'11" self has a little bit more room in the front than I did in the back, because the glass panel here I've maybe got 4 fingers worth, so it's double the headroom height. Shoulder room's fine, and there's definitely enough adjustment in the seat to get comfortable for myself. And I said these seats are very retro, very comfortable, and typically 90s with this kind of upholstery. Could you imagine this upholstery in a 2023 car? So move around to the rear, push this little button, tailgate opens up, and as you can see you've got a reasonable sized boot space for a small city car. This is the boot space in the rear of the Twingo. It's a reasonable size considering the size of the car. A little bit of a lip, but one cool feature is you can pull this little lever here, like so, and slide that forward. So if you wanted more boot space, you can, and then you pull that back, like so, cuts in place, and you've got more legroom again. Little novel touch to make a small car feel more practical and larger. Go ahead and close the boot up. The small dimensions of the Twingo help keep the curb weight of the vehicle low, and it's under a tonne, about 925 kilos. Being that the Twingo is based heavily on the Renault Clio, it uses a 1.2 litre petrol engine, available with 58 brake horsepower and a 75 brake horsepower option. Now it's time to see what this Twingo is like on the road. So now that we're driving the Renault Twingo, the first thing you do notice is the fact that it's got good visibility all around the car. I do like the fact it's got small A-pillars, greenhouse is very kind of spacious, and visibility is fantastic. Even got the glass kind of sunroof, but even the view out you can see inside the car is just fantastic. You can see all around. Primarily helps with the dimensions, I guess. It's being quite a small car, similar to my Toyota IQ. You can see all around quite easily. The clutch in this car is quite interesting. I think it's a little bit high. It could be this particular model. I've not driven other Mark 1 Twingos, but I do think it feels a little bit high, higher than it needs to be. But it does engage well. Engine, as I mentioned, they're all 1.2 petrols. I think this is one of the higher output versions, from what I'm told by the owner. But you're putting the foot down, and it's just like the IQ. The Twingo isn't going anywhere fast. It makes a little bit of noise, but it gets the job done getting you about town, and I guess that's the MO of this car. What else can we say? I do like the fact that it can seat 4 comfortably, plenty of headroom, I said, even with that glass roof. But with the glass roof, I have noticed there's a little bit of kind of wind noise into the car, and it probably isn't helped with having that roof, because not all the Twingos came with the sunroof. And being a 20-year-old French car, I guess that's just the seals are maybe going, or rubber's going, something's happened. You're getting a little bit of noise into the cabin. Suspension wise, the car is pretty comfortable. It does the rounded job of driving around Giffnut pretty well. Hits the potholes and that. You don't feel anything as jarring as maybe like something like the Citroen Ami that we reviewed recently. And it's probably on par with something like the IQ again. I keep coming back to the IQ because A, it's almost my daily driver, and B, it's a similar kind of car. It's just a little bit newer. With 4.62 doors, which short wheelbase, tall, considering the size of the car. And yeah, I think, yeah, it's just like a French version of that. I said it pretty much feels everything's dead easy to navigate. You can pop it anywhere, small dimensions again, easy to park. You can get 4 friends in here. And the steering's pretty much the same as well. It's not really any awards, but it's a small, fun Twingo. And the sad fact is, we're in a state of play that manufacturers aren't building cars like this anymore. They're building SUVs or crossovers, they're building EVs that are either too heavy or too big than they need to be. Out with maybe the Stellantis group with the Citroen, Ami and the Fiat Topolino, which are kind of quadricycles, but the majority of the cars coming out these days are just big heavy things. But, yeah, the small fun car segment's kind of gone. Like even Toyota went to an Aygo X, which is a Yaris based crossover, with the 1 litre out the IQ again. But like what can you get now? A small, do you get a Clio? Do you get a Capture? You don't get anything fun and small. Definitely not this size and not this kind of appeal. There's definitely a following with this little cute face on the Mk1 Twingos, and because they were left-hand drive and never really sold in the UK officially, they're all kind of imported ones. So there's that special occasion when you do see one in the UK. When you see them in Europe, they're like 20 years old and maybe sun damaged and lacquer peeling and bashed, and you've all been to Spain and France and you've seen them. But yeah, what do we think? It's a small little French car, and it should be easy and cheap, easy to maintain and cheap to fix, I'm guessing, because it's based on the Clio and there should be a lot of parts availability. Nothing mechanically, at least, is too bespoke to the Twingo. Yeah, so that's my thoughts and drive on the Renault Twingo. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, why not give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel below, comment below what you thought about the Renault Twingo, and check out the owner. I'll leave his Instagram here. Ciao.